Welcome to Eternal Rambles, where the Eternal rambles eternally. My name's Aaron.
I'm Kodig.
And today we're going to be talking about PlayStation Platinum trophies. Because Kodig and I are very long-standing we're long-standing Platinumers. We're long-standing PlayStation owners. It's our favorite console. It's one we have The fuck are you?
Hi, I'm Sun.
Yeah, this is our buddy. Sunslinger.
I smell Xbox on this bitch.
You right. All about that life.
Yes, we brought in because we were talking about PlayStations and Platinum trophies, and that's one of the big differences when it comes to like gaming cred. Is like PlayStation's the Platinum trophies, but Xbox doesn't really have an equivalent, right?
I mean, you can get the 100%, which is pretty much going to be the equivalent of what Xbox has. They don't have the trophy system. You just have the level.
Well, that's the thing is because PlayStation has percentage of completion, and it gives every achievement a rank of how difficult or how much the developers want you to have. So you have bronze, silver's, gold, and then the platinum once you've gotten all of them. And then they have DLC, which have their own set of trophies sometimes.
Yeah.
So you can have the platinum trophy, but not have 100% completion in the game.
And you can 100% a game without getting a platinum trophy because certain games don't qualify for platinum trophies. Like What Remains of Edith Finch, I was going to get all the trophies for that game, but it doesn't even have a platinum trophy, so it just didn't seem worth it to me. So today we're going to talk about our specific platinum trophies / 100% achievements.
And Sun's 100% completion, because that's how he do.
We'll start off with me.
I see how it is.
We'll start off with me talking about my very first platinum trophy, all the way back in 6th month of the 13th day of the 2018th year of
So you didn't platinum your first game until you were 18?
Yes. Which was Tales from the Borderlands, and that game, all you have to do to platinum it is beat the game.
So does that even count?
I did not add those into mine because I did not do the Telltale games. I have those ones 100% too.
you play the game and you get it. You done it.
Yeah, I don't think that I myself wouldn't consider it. That's why I didn't put it on my list.
Walking Dead doesn't do that. You don't get the platinum by beating the game. You actually have to do certain things.
But on Xbox, since you don't have platinum, you actually get the 100% by just playing the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's another thing. That's the thing we should have done. Is we should have picked games that you have in your system and that we have in our system, and compare to see if the trophy / achievement lists were the same.
9 times out of 10, they're exactly the same. And then
actually, even the rare part of it, it doesn't show rare in the achievement list, but when you're not playing and it pops up like a screen, it actually it'll say rare achievements, where it'll give you the percentage of people that actually have his achievement.
Yeah, they have that on PlayStation.
Yeah, they do.
As well.
They actually have. Yeah, they have it. You have how many people, or the percentage of people who have the game, have that trophy. So basically, it's you can have a bronze trophy. You can have a bronze trophy that only 2.5% of players have this trophy.
Yeah, because I found on zombies maps on the other Call of Duties, they have achievements that 0.001% of people have, and I'm like, yeah.
It's funny though in seeing certain games, as an example, Bloodborne. There's a trophy for every boss you've defeated, so you can literally just look through the boss trophies and see what it's all right, so most players stop playing the game at this boss, and most players say this boss. You see the cleric beast, a certain amount has that one. Then you go to Father Gascoigne, which is the first mandatory boss, and it's 25.7% of players have this. And it's yeah, 3/4 of people give up at the first mandatory boss. I don't know if that's an accurate statistic. I'm just spitballing. Just games like that are bosses or chapter oriented, you can literally get it's almost like a YouTube analytics. You can see how many people quit.
Yeah, at what points
at different stages of the games. You can have people who complete the game, but don't have a bunch of other trophies.
Yeah, it's like Tales from the Borderlands, where it's literally just whoever has the platinum trophy, you know how many people who bought the game actually beat the fucking game.
Yeah.
Well, at least on the PlayStation.
And then you have certain people like Kodig, who has Demon Souls on PlayStation 5 and doesn't have any trophies because literally he started and then he stopped.
Yeah.
He didn't even die yet. He made his character, sat on the bonfire, and then he quit.
That sounds
Yep.
like me for Dark Souls. Dark Souls, I got to the first boss and I was like, nah, I'm good. I just quit the game.
Yeah, nah. How about you, Aaron? Let's start off with your first trophy. Oh, well, actually, I do want to state real quick that...
You want to state?
State real quick that currently, as of right now, Sun has 15 100% achievements on Xbox. I have 13 platinum trophies on PlayStation, and Aaron has 12 platinum trophies on a PlayStation. So we have quite a bit.
My first platinum trophy was for Sly Cooper 1 on the PlayStation 3. Not because it was like the first game that like, oh yeah, it was just the platinums for that game are very easy to get. And it was up until that point, I didn't really care about platinums. The game I tried to platinum first was Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi, because that was the first game I had for the PlayStation 3, and that PlayStation 3 was whenever they added trophies. They didn't have anything like that in the PlayStation 2. And then I saw some of the trophies were online trophies. Go and battle against other people, and I went, hell no. And this isn't even an instance to be like, oh, hey, it's been a while, gotten better, I can go back. No, because nobody's playing that game online anymore.
Yep.
That's another really shitty thing about some games. It's like, oh, they require online trophies, and then like they shut down the servers, or just nobody's playing, so you'll never, ever, ever get platinum trophies for that game.
Dead Space.
Yeah.
It's just nope. You're not going to be able to. That'll just sit there haunting and withered in your trophy list forever.
Well, how about you, Son? What was your first 100% achievement on the Xbox?
Borderlands 1. Because it was the first game that I went that far into playing, and a lot of the achievements were at the time super duper easy to get. So it was like, I'm gonna go run through this, because I had a buddy who 100% every game he plays. So he was like, well, you do it. So then I was like, all right, Borderlands, you're the closest one I have. Let's do this. And so then from then on, it was anytime I did it, I'd just be like, well, I did this one 100%. And he's like, I've got 15 other games that I didn't since then. I'm like,
Yeah. The first platinum trophy I got that I wanted the platinum trophy for, and I actively fought for it, was with Bloodborne, which is interesting because my first platinum trophy was Sly Cooper 1 on PlayStation 3, and then I don't think I have any other platinums with the PlayStation 3, despite the fact that I'm close on a number of them.
My first platinum trophy that I actively tried to achieve, well, technically it was two, because I got both of them in the same exact day, which was Horizon Zero Dawn and Skyrim for the PS4. Now, with Skyrim, it was kind of a bitch and a half just doing,
Because the fucking Thieves Guild. Return the Thieves Guild to its former glory. Complete 10 jobs in every hold. Oh, and the jobs they give you are randomized.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you have no idea how long it's going to take you to do that.
Yeah, so I platinumed Skyrim on the PS4. I do intend on platinuming it on PS3 at some point, but...
Yeah, it's like I think I'm literally like 3 trophies away from platinuming it on the PS3. Just one of them is Return the Thieves Guild to its former glory. And I was like, fuck that. I tried for like 2 hours one time, just like keeping track of the number of jobs that I've done. And every time they offered me a job and the place that I completed, I would just say no, just like waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like 2 hours, and I'm like, I'm done.
Now, Horizon Zero Dawn was like really one of the first, because like with Skyrim, it was just like, oh, I'm close to getting all the trophies, I'll go and get them. Horizon Zero Dawn, it was really the first game that I just kind of really wanted to, like, I started the game and I was like, I'm going to platinum this game. I love this game. It's great. So I went through, collected everything, completed all the maps, got all the trophies, and I was like, I felt accomplished, and I was like, oh, I'm really close to platinuming Skyrim. Let me just do that right quick.
that feel like that was for me with Gears too, except if you've ever played Gears of War, you have to do Seriously 2.0. The problem with Seriously 2.0 is you have to go back to Gears 1 and get Seriously 1.0 to get 2.0, and the same for 3.0. So you had to go back and get Seriously 1.0 to be able to do 100% Gears of War 2, so I could get the Seriously 2.0. And after 3, I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm not even trying to get these Seriouslys anymore. Not at all. Like it's literally like the points needed to online to get it are so insane. You would literally be playing for months every day, at least 5 or 6 hours a day to like get the points together to actually get it. I was like, nah, fam.
Fuck that.
It is something funny though. Is like one of my other platinum trophies is y'all who have listened to this podcast or have seen a couple of our videos would know that the first game that I actually really like fell in love with was Kingdom Hearts. So I have the platinum trophy for Kingdom Hearts 1 on the PlayStation 4, despite the fact that I have it on PlayStation 3. And the reason for that is the PlayStation 3, 4, and whenever they make the 5 version is the final mix. In which case they added in other things, like they added an entirely different new Heartless, so because they dropped specific synthesis ingredients, and they changed the ingredients recipes for the best weapons and accessories in the game, basically. So they're like, all right, we're gonna make these incredibly difficult Heartless and lock behind the final ingredients for these things on them. So good luck. Because it's not even a game, like you fight them, you get them, and then you get it's an RNG system. Now sometimes you get nothing, sometimes you can get like 5. So it's all kind of hit or miss. On the PlayStation 3, I was not yet a seasoned enough gamer to really be confident in my skills and everything, because there was just one Heartless type. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If they spot you, they start to multiply randomly. Because how it works is you find it, you kill it. 2 more appear, you kill both of them. 3 appear, you kill all 3 of them, and then you have the chance to get the item. If at any point any of them sees you, they start to spawn other ones. But at that point, it's too late, because if you kill any of them at that point, either it's a real one, or it's a fake one, in which case it does the Hydra thing, it just makes 2 more. And they have unlimited range.
Oh, nice.
So you just have to fucking leave and reset the areas. I didn't know how to do it. By the time PlayStation 4 came around, I had more of an idea what I was doing, and so therefore I got the platinum trophy in Kingdom Hearts 1 for that one. And I'm so close. I'm like within like a whisper of a kiss from platinuming 2 and 3. It's just they're mini game trophies. You gotta complete a mini game, you get a certain score, and I'm like, I just have to bash my head against this until I finally get it, and I haven't had the willpower to do it yet.
We were talking about the DLCs. I think what gets me is you'll have a game that you've platinum, but all the or 100%ed or whatever, and they'll drop a new DLC for it. So you technically aren't, and then you have to redo those, and some of those are insane. Like Borderlands 2 when they dropped like the Immortal guys, where you're sitting there and you have to literally cheat to kill it. You have to get a gun that is the Baby Maker that literally just fires grenades that just spawn more grenades. And
what a name!
Oh, Borderlands got all the names. Borderlands killers, not But they got that RNG too, where you know the boss that you kill could have 4 or 5 separate like legendaries he drops, but only one of them is like god tier. So you have to kill him 1,000 times to get that one god tier weapon. And you're like, do I really want to sit here and do this long? And then every time they dropped a DLC, it raised the cap on what level you could be at. So you would be thinking, oh cool, I'm just gonna go in here and nonchalantly fight these guys, and they're 20 levels higher than you, and you're like, oh, this is how it's gonna be. And then you have to go out and find the guns that you had that were god tier and find them at the new level. And it's just a bunch of like circles.
Yeah. It's like sometimes you'll just see a trophy list that you're very close, and you're like, oh, I could get these trophies. It's just, am I willing to put in the amount of time and grind that I would need to get them?
That is actually kind of that leads into one of my other platinum trophies that I am close to platinuming on another console. Recently, I platinumed Mass Effect 2 on the PS4, on the PS4. I platinumed the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect 2 on the PS4, and might I say it's just one of my favorite games of all time. I've beaten it
No,
a dozen times.
no, you're not allowed to say.
Huh?
You're not allowed to say. No.
I've beaten it a dozen times. I love that game so much. So I was so happy when I got to platinum on the PS4, and I am one single trophy away from platinuming it on the PS3. However, that is beating the game on insanity difficulty, and insanity difficulty is fucking retarded. So it's like every.
Well, it is labeled insane difficulty.
I know, but it's just like I'm pretty good at the game. I am pretty good at the game. I've beaten it on every difficulty with the exception of insanity. But like you have the difficulty right below insanity, and then like you like times 10, and that's insanity, and it's ridiculous. So I will on my life. I will platinum
on your life?
No. I will platinum Mass Effect 2 on the PS3 at some point. But like, damn, it is not easy at all.
Yeah, back to what Sun said about like how you can 100% a game and then the DLC comes out and stuff like that. Actually, I have on PlayStation 4 Spider-Man, the Insomniac Spider-Man. I did get the platinum trophy for it, and then the DLC came out, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get these trophies. So on PS4, I have the platinum and 100% on it, but not on PS5 because fuck Screwball and her fucking missions.
You did platinum it again on PS5.
No, I platinum Spider-Man on PS4 and PS5, but I've only 100%ed Spider-Man on PS4.
Yeah, with me, a lot of games, if I get the platinum, then I'm just kind of like, okay, I got the platinum. I'm good.
Not for me, man.
Not
I'm
all games, but like with a lot of games. Like with Spider-Man, I'm not getting 100%. But I did platinum it.
Because you watched me try some of the Screwball missions, you're like, nope.
I did platinum Spider-Man on the PS4, same as Aaron. I just didn't go for 100%. And I will platinum it again on the PS5. Just like I platinumed Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PS5.
I haven't even started that game.
One of my most recent platinums. I actually got that like 6 days ago.
For me, like when you're talking about like
that
the
was
bosses,
what sorry, let's cut you off. But Kodig was like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about platinum trophies for the next podcast. I'm just gonna try to get a couple more because I'm gonna really juice my stats before this." Go ahead.
So with what he's talking about on the insane, like which another one of my 100% is Gears of War 3, and on Gears of War 3 you have to play it on the insane difficulty on arcade. So with 4 people. So here's what's really fun about that. If somebody dies, you don't start from like your checkpoint. You start the whole mission over again. And then so you could like on the last mission when you're fighting fucking Mira and everything's going perfect, and then she does her little sunbeam of doom thing, and one of your players dies, and you have to start from scratch, and it's already like an hour of fighting her at this point. And you're like, do I really want to keep doing this? But and then that's one of those ones where I can understand completely on that, where I'm just kind of like, oh, did I really want to do this? But we did. That was one of those games that we all agreed we were going to go for those achievements because you had to have 4 players to do it. You couldn't. I mean, trying to do it with randoms would just be terrible because you can't watch them or know how they're going to play, and then you're like, oh, this blueberry just died. Well, shit.
That's the exact reason why we didn't want to do GTA Online heists, which is because we had 3 of us before we moved into the new place and got Sunslinger as our other roommate. We was like, we don't want to do this with a 4th random person. Just gotta wait till we get 4 people. So the whole thing about like arcade mode, nightmare difficulty, and all this stuff is on Dragon Age Inquisition PS4, which I have the platinum for. There are difficulty levels. There are difficulty trophies, like complete the game under X difficulty. Dragon Age Inquisition has complete the game on this difficulty or harder. So, like, when I went for the platinum, I was like, I'll just do nightmare difficulty and skip the hard or whatever other... That way, because it'll count for all of them. But with Dragon Age Inquisition, it's kind of like... Dragon Age Inquisition has a pseudo New Game Plus mechanic. Anyone who knows about New Game Plus is you start over from the beginning, but you keep, like, your levels and your equipment or some variation of that. Dragon Age Inquisition, how it works is if you've beaten the game, that's the important part. If you've beaten the game, any of the armor or weapon schematics you have discovered while playing the game, you can then go to a statue, and in any other game, you can just get them and they're more powerful. Obviously, you'd be making them with like basic materials, but it juices your stats basically, so it makes any other subsequent playthrough easier. What makes that funny to me is on Kingdom Hearts 1, there is no on this difficulty or higher. It requires you beat the game on this difficulty, beat the game on this difficulty, and then beat the game on this difficulty. So I couldn't just do that. I do one on hard difficulty and one on beginner difficulty. But the funny thing is, I decided to literally just lump certain trophies together.
That actually reminds me of one of the other games that I platinum. This is gonna Aaron sigh immediately. South Park: The Fractured Butthole. I got the platinum trophy for South Park: The Fractured Butthole. However, one of the trophies is hilarious, right? So that game has 4 difficulties. Okay, I can't remember the names of them, but it has 4 difficulties, and one of the trophies requires you to play it on the 3rd one, not the 4th one, because if you play it on the 4th one, you don't get the trophy. You have to play it on the 3rd one. And so a lot of people play through the game on the hardest difficulty
because they assume there's
exactly, and then they don't get the trophy and they complain. Like, it's like, it says right there.
Read the trophy list.
Read the trophy. It says right here. Do it on this difficulty.
Are there hidden trophies or achievements on Xbox? Like you can see the list, but some of them are hidden from you.
Oh yeah, there some games actually. I can't remember what game it was, but they didn't want people knowing their list, so they made every achievement they had a secret.
Interesting.
So you had to literally just play the game and just kind of hope you were getting achievements.
Well, that's why I'm asking the question: is do you ever look at a trophy list and before you decide if you're going to try to 100% it or not, reveal the hidden trophies to see?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I do.
I do a lot.
Cody didn't even know that was a feature until he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm looking at a trophy list. Wait, that's a hidden trophy. Wait, how did you do that? So it's like you literally just hit reveal. There's a button. It's on the bottom of the screen. He's like, "No way."
Oh, we don't have that luxury.
You don't have that luxury?
No, we don't have that luxury. There's not a reveal button on Xbox.
Oh, there's not? Oh.
You have to literally go look online.
Just go Google it.
Yeah, Google what the secret achievements are for that game.
Oh, that's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, I wish.
Actually, it's really funny. But back to what I was saying about Kingdom Hearts 1 is on the beginner difficulty, I noticed there were some other ones. Like, there was a trophy for complete a game without changing your equipment list, and then complete the game in under 16 hours. So I was like, oh, I'll just do those. I'll just do a beginner run without changing accessories in under 16 hours. How hard can that be? It wasn't. I completed it in like 10 hours. It wasn't that hard. but like, how much of a piss would that have been if that was more difficult than going through my hard difficulty run? Thank God there was no like complete it under a certain number of deaths.
Oh God.
Because there is no like, you can't like save scum in Kingdom Hearts 3. It's like, if you want to save or load a save, you have to go to a save point. Like, you can't even, like, oh, I'm about to die. Oh, I died. Let me turn off the console, and then we go. No, the game remembers that you died. Like I said, there's no trophy for it, but, like, games that have trophies, like with Crash Bandicoot, I have not platinumed this, by the way. I'm just bringing it up. One of the things on it is there's a gem that says you have to complete the level in 3 deaths or less. And, of course, there's a trophy for getting all of the gems. So, like, that's a bit of a pisser.
Yeah.
So I talked about Bloodborne, talked about Spider-Man, PS4 and PS5, Dragon Age Inquisition, Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if this counts. Obviously, it should count because I got them, but, like, I have the Spyro Reignited trilogy. I've platinumed all 3 of those games, but they're not really difficult. Like, there's no, like, beat it on a certain difficulty level. There's no, like, really, really challenging trophy requirements. It's just beat the games. And
I've considered it, but I just don't.
On Spyro 1, though, there is actually this interesting thing. There's 100% internally within the logic of the game. Like, 100% complete the game. But you don't have to 100% the game to get the Platinum Trophy.
Well, I wonder if that falls in that category that we were talking about earlier when we were talking about the Telltale games, because like I said, on Xbox, you can play the Walking Dead one, and as long as you play the game, you got 100% on it. There's nothing, you didn't do anything fancy. You didn't work hard to earn that 100%. You just have it because you played it, and that's that.
does your gamer score? I'm asking Kodik like you would ever even know, because you know how you work at PlayStation. Your gamer rank. Basically, it takes in the number of games you have, the number of trophies you have, and which trophies you have, and the quality of them. Yada. Do you get an increase to your gamer score if you have a trophy that a few percent, like very few people have for that game? Does that boost the score at all, or is it just the individual trophy has a set value?
I wouldn't know, but I do know they just recently changed how the gamer score works on the PlayStation.
They did.
Yeah, like used to be, it would be like my gamer score was like 12,000, and yours was like 12,000.
Yeah, but they're like 200 now.
Yeah, but now mine's 281 and yours is 282.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how they changed it. I'll probably use.
I know Mad Dragons is like 160 something, and then you look at Ryan's gamer score, and it's a good thing Ryan isn't here because Ryan doesn't have any platinum trophies.
He's pretty close to a few.
He's close to a number of them. He just doesn't. Mostly because Ryan doesn't care. Ryan is one of those people. He doesn't care about completion. He doesn't care about 100%. He doesn't. It's like, I want to play the game, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
Which I get a lot. There are. I feel like if I want to get 100% on a game, it has to be a game that I really, really love.
Same
like,
here.
Gears of War, definitely. I was all about the first 3 Gears of War, getting those, like working my ass off to get those. The Borderlands games, the first 2 Borderlands games, like all about them because I loved the games. The games were so good and they kept you enthused. But then you have like your standalone games that don't really matter necessarily, and you're just kind of like, do I care enough about this game to actually do it? I have a friend, Sonic, and he every time he plays a game, no matter what, he has 100% it. It's just the way he does, and his gamer score is at like, which a gamer score for Xbox and PlayStation is completely different. Like he's at like 200,000 gamer score, which is just insane to think about.
Wow.
Like I'm sitting here with like 40 and I feel good about myself. And I'm like, hey, he's like 200,000 and he literally will not, he'll download a game and he will not stop playing it until it's 100%.
And I'm sitting over here at 3,000.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I've never really been much of an Xbox guy. I just got an Xbox like not that long ago.
You need to step them numbers up, sir.
Yeah.
Those are rookie numbers. We gotta get those up.
I prefer getting my gamer score up on the PlayStation.
See, like, I don't just like, okay, I'm gonna get this game and I'm gonna platinum it. Usually, it's like I'll either beat it or get near beating it, and then I'll look at how close I am to platinuming it, and then I'll look at the trophies I have left, and then I'll decide if I want to platinum it.
Yeah, like me, there's like the one game. Then there are those stories of those games that you just really love, but it's like. I want to platinum this game, but some of these trophies are just fucking insane. Mm-hmm. One of those games for me is The Witcher 3. Fucking love The Witcher 3. I'm 60% right now. You have to
attack an enemy, counter an enemy, throw a grenade, and what was the other requirement?
Oh god.
And use a sign.
In
under 4 seconds.
In under 4 seconds. or the one where you have to poison, burn, and
shoot with a crossbow bolt.
No, it was poison, burn, and I can't remember the other one. But you have to do 3 effects at the same time on 10 different people. Now, those aren't even the bullshit trophies. The bullshit trophy is I shit you. The bullshit trophy is the fucking Gwent trophies because fuck Gwent.
Because it requires you to be good at Gwent.
For one, it requires you to be good at Gwent.
How dare a game require you to be good
at a mini game?
Yeah, okay. I will say that though. That's the one thing is like you can be great at a game, but if it has like a mini game mechanic, like in Kingdom Hearts, that has nothing to do with the actual main gameplay style. It's like Witcher 3. You have to be good at Gwent. An internal game within the game that's a card game that has nothing to do with any of the other mechanics.
It wouldn't be such a problem. Like I literally am going through trying to collect all the Gwent cards, and I'm getting better at Gwent. The problem is there are certain Gwent cards that are just flat out missable. If you don't do it at that specific time, you will fucking miss it. And they're like sporadic too. It's like it's not like these major events that you just know every single one. It's like, oh, this card is only sold by this guy before this mission. It's like, but why?
See, it's interesting for me. Like, give me a trophy that requires you to beat the game in multiple difficulties. Fine. Give me a game that requires you to see all of the endings with the trophies. I'm okay with that. I don't like games that are like, all right, you make choices, and that determines you do different things. Not about endings, but it's a game where you have to make choices, and then there are missable choices, so you have to go back and redo games just to get those choices. Not even beat the game, just get those choices. I'm like, what the is the point? You want me to see all the endings? Fine, I'll do that. Don't give me just like these random ass, like, oh, you need to see this scene or event that happens at some random point in the game. It's like, why?
It's Until Dawn.
Why?
It's one of the reasons why I haven't platinumed Until Dawn. I've saved all the people. I have not platinumed the game. I've saved all the people and I've watched everyone die.
But you still don't have the platinum trophy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think my next one I would talk about would be like Halo, and we had this discussion among ourselves where you had like the diehard Xbox like exclusives versus like the PlayStation's exclusives.
Yeah.
And of course, like the Halo series, the Gears series are so ingrained into Xbox that you're like, okay, cool, like.
You just associate Xbox with Halo and Gears.
Because the 360, when that came out, was focused more on the frat boy party dude demographic, which is why you have Gears
and the Xbox launched with Halo.
Yeah.
The Halo sold the Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original Xbox was sold because of Halo.
Yeah.
People bought that to play Halo.
But
It didn't sell very well, but anyone that owned an original Xbox owned Halo.
they did, and but you could, with the same fact of that, like you could do, like the day one Xbox One, you were either Rise, Son of Rome, or Forza. That's it. Those were the only games that existed for those that when it came out. So you were either playing Forza, which I would rather stub my toe a billion times.
I fucking
than play a
love
racing
Forza.
game,
Forza is
or play Rise and play as a Roman legionnaire and just go to town.
If for those of you that are not familiar, I'm a very big racing game fan. Now I don't like NASCAR games, but I love
a left turn. He's making a left turn.
But I love racing games. Gran Turismo, Forza Horizon, all that. Need for Speed.
See, I like games that have good driving controls, but like some racing games take the controls way too far. Yeah.
I think that's mostly like the Gran Turismo and Forza Motorsport. Like Forza Horizon's more of an open world game. They take a lot of the
like fuck any game that there's a button for changing your gear. Give me full automatic in games. Fuck that.
You have the option to do manual or automatic.
The only game, in my opinion, I'm actually kind of okay with the actual manual gear shift is like truck. What was it called? Truck Simulator.
18-wheeler.
Yeah, well, it's like because they have this whole setup where like you can like get like one with the steering wheel and pedals and everything, like a full setup, and be a simulator where you're actually a truck driver driving across the country. I think that's sold for the experience and the novelty.
Shit you not. I used to play that all the time as a kid. It was one of the few games that my dad had on his like Windows 98 PC that barely ran, but I would play it all the time, just driving across the U.S. in a fucking semi.
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. Let me just get the platinum for Oregon Trail right quick.
See, but that's a simulator game though. Is you're doing it for the novelty of the experience. If
Yeah.
I'm playing a fucking racing game where the point is to be good at the game and go fast, don't give me a fucking gear shift. Like the arcade is
You have the option to have a gear shift. You can do automatic or manual.
Like the arcade. Well, the thing is though, like they intentionally make it so you do better if you pick the manual.
Because if you here's the thing.
Games still aren't good though.
Here's the thing though. Like in real life, if you know how to work a gear shift, then technically speaking, you can build up your speed faster.
Yeah, I know, but that's in real
manual.
fucking life.
Yeah, that's the point for these they're racing simulators. They are racing. They are meant to mimic real life driving.
Okay,
However,
then give me a cooking simulator where you literally have to move the toggle stick appropriately to cut the knife, and you can cut your own finger. I was like, oh no, oh right, they don't fucking do that except for the DS because that's a touchpad. That's different.
Oh shit.
Where it's like, no, you just hit a button in time, and that's cutting. No, like with Cooking Mama, like the DS. Which, by the way, we're not really talking about Nintendo games because, as far as I'm aware, like I have.
There's no trophies.
Yeah, we have Switches. Like Kodig and I have Switches and DSs and all stuff. They don't have trophies or anything, which could be. I don't know. They tend to go crazy for like completionists, stuff like that.
I'm pretty close to completing fucking Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, completing the Pokedex.
Yeah, like their games have like internal completion percentages. Well, not all of them. Some of them do. Like obviously Pokemon has like complete the Pokedex and yada yada yada, and like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild have like you can see your completion.
That's
percentage.
kind of one of the things that drives me away from completing Nintendo games is there's no reward for completing the Nintendo game.
There's no fucking reward for completing the Nintendo game. Games.
You get a trophy.
It's a fake trophy.
Yeah, but like there's not even.
It's not like YouTube where it's like, hey, you got 1 million subscribers. Here's a play button. They don't send it to your house.
Yeah, but if Nintendo could implement a trophy system, it would probably drive me to complete more Nintendo games. I'm gonna be honest.
And see, I have to disagree with that because I feel like if you're playing the game, if you want to play the game, I can play. I have played hundreds of games on my Xbox, and I do not have them 100% at all. But I wanted to play that game.
Well, that's the thing. There's a difference between wanting to play a game to play the game, which I do on the Nintendo. I don't have any aspirations to complete, like as in 100%.
It carries over from like the PlayStation 1, like the Crash Bandicoot. You could go into that save file, and then you could see the completion on that save file. You could see like the gems you've collected and like all the things. Like Nintendo just carries that thing. Where it's like it's not you get a trophy. It's you have that save file with like the adornment, like you did it. It's 100%. You got all the things. You did all the stuffs. They just haven't like. It's because Nintendo's always been effective. It's like gaming is a experience where you meet other gamers. Like Pokemon, they have different versions, so you can trade with other people. It was more the mentality of, hey, look, I 100% completed this game. Look at my save file. It's like it's not like you could be sitting back on your couch and like, oh, just look at all your friends' gamer scores and like, oh yeah, look at that. It's like no, actually you interact with them in the real world. Be like, boom. Now is that better or worse? Times change, things go on, everyone's different. So I don't think Nintendo really necessarily needs to implement like a trophy or achievement system. I think that
I don't think they need to. I would just
file.
like for it to happen. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, let's go on to the one of my other platinum trophies. One of my favorite games of all time, and my top 10 favorite games of all time, actually, maybe even top 5. The original Life is Strange. Life is Strange 1. Now, it's not necessarily the hardest trophy in the world to get.
Sunslinger and I are gonna go get lunch while he's talking about this.
Yeah.
Neither of us can do it.
It's not necessarily the hardest trophy in the world to get, but just playing through that game. I played through that game like maybe 4 or 5 times. Now I didn't need to play through it 4 or 5 times to get the trophies, but because they
over here with my Kingdom Hearts replays.
Now me over here with my Mass Effect 2 replays.
So many times, so many. The game that you've probably replayed the most.
Gears 3 or 2 are going to be hands down.
Everything's just Gears of War with Suns. That's his franchise.
Yeah, like Gears is big. Like Gears is where it goes. Like Gears 2, Gears 2 and Gears 3, it was different on the principle. I was talking about this earlier, where it's not that I dislike PlayStation. Like I'll joke with them about it and I'll give them a hard time. It's not that. It's just that the people that I played with that were at my house had Xboxes, so we played Xboxes together. Only a certain people had PlayStations around me, so it was more of a kind of like you'd go see a random person and get to play a PlayStation, or you can just be with all these other people that all have Xboxes. You're all playing the same games. You all want to do it together. So then you just have group after group, and you would just be playing, and you'd be like, "Oh, let's go play the campaign on this," and you're like, "Okay, bet." And you'd have like 5 campaign saves with different people, and then you would just start completing them, and then you would just go back with more people, and you just over and over. And to me, Gears was like like the friendship game, and I know that's really weird, just murdering a whole bunch of shit. But let's chainsaw them to death, whatever.
Hate to detected, firing the orbital friendship cannon.
Yeah, for real. But it's just one of those ones. Like Halo was the same way, and I know that it didn't have to be necessarily an Xbox exclusive, but like y'all said, like the Halo did make the Xbox. So and Gears was the same way. And so it was just kind of the game that
Halo made it,
had.
Gears defined it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That just reminded me of something. Okay. So anyone Kingdom Hearts has always been a PlayStation exclusive until Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, where they released that on the Xbox. Why would you ever do that, in my opinion?
So more people could play it.
Yeah, you give people the option.
Yeah, the third fucking game.
Well, they released the all-in-one on the Xbox as well.
Yeah, but not until after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out.
Yeah.
So it's like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, if they wanted to make like the next Halo game, like, oh, we're releasing it on Xbox and also on PlayStation, why the fuck all these other games, you don't is going on? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I have to agree with like that aspect of it. It doesn't make sense to me, but
it's like Persona, right? Because like Persona is all the main series Persona games are only on the PlayStation. However, all the side games are almost all on Nintendo consoles.
Okay, well I will say that like Kingdom Hearts
and then the
Kingdom
fucking
Hearts
fighting
Chain of
game
Memories, Kingdom
and
Hearts
then
Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 358 did come out on Nintendo consoles.
And then the fucking fighting game Persona Arena is an Xbox exclusive. So it's like all these things, it's like, oh, let me just sell all these side games on consoles that these people don't even fucking own.
It's because they take in jabs, I swear. It's like
Persona Q2, right, is a Persona 5 like little cutesy side game, right? Mm-hmm. It's a 3DS exclusive.
Well, I mean, it's like, what was it y'all were telling me about? Saints Row, right?
Row.
That was an Xbox exclusive.
Like the very first Saints Row was an Xbox exclusive, and then 2 came out
on the PS3 and Xbox 360.
And it came out on both, and every game since has come out on both consoles.
But it started as an Xbox game.
And then 3 and 4 came out on the fucking Switch.
I will say that the fact is, like, with that instance, I can kind of be okay with it, because it was the second game. It was the first game was exclusive, and the second game came out, and then from then on, it was multi-platform. But with fucking Kingdom Hearts or whatever, Persona, it's like, no, there's like 18.5 million games that are exclusives, and then the most recent one, that's the one you can share.
Speaking of Persona,
no one's gonna fucking play. Anyone on the other one is not gonna play them. Okay, Kingdom Hearts is different because everyone's like, that's the game that everyone's been wanting for like 10, 15 years. And it's like, oh, Kingdom Hearts, I'm gonna go try it out. It's like, but if you're an Xbox player, don't just start with Kingdom Hearts 3. Don't do it. I know there were fucking gamer YouTubers who was like, oh, I'm gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3 and I'm gonna review it even though I haven't get anything else. No!
Codig starting on all the games on 3. Like, oh, what game?
I didn't know Metro Exodus was the third game. I thought it was the first one. I didn't know there was other Metros.
Dear game developers.
And okay, Dragon Age Inquisition, that was a whole nother story.
That's the thing, is like, dear game developers, have numbers on your games. Don't just make it like Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition. No one knows what order that is. They just know 2 is the second one.
Well, if you think like they're Metro, what was it, 2034, whatever it is, and then it's Metro Last Light, which is an entire different game, and then it's Metro Exodus. But not even to mention, when you first load it up, it starts talking about people. You're like, this is a storyline that's obviously older than what it is.
I mean, I started with Saints Row 4 because I thought it was a fun-looking game.
And I started with Saints Row 3, so I can't really say anything.
It just looked like a fun game, you know?
Now, speaking of Persona, like we were a second ago, Persona 5 Royal was one of my other platinum trophies, and probably recently made my top 5 favorite video games of all time list. I fucking love Persona. I love Persona 5. Persona 5 got me into the franchise. Now I got Persona 4, Persona 3, fucking Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, well, here's the thing with Persona though. Persona, each individual game, they're all isolated.
They share like mechanics in a world, but like for the most part the stories
the mechanics are kind of updated, but you can go back to a previous
It's like the Pokemon games.
Exactly.
You can play and start any of them, and it does not matter.
Exactly. There might be a few things here and there that are like little references to previous games that you just won't get, but all in all, you're not really losing anything.
Who's this red asshole?
Yeah. You're not really losing anything from playing previous
Why don't
games.
you speak?
And I think I've already in the previous podcast talked about why I love Persona 5 so much, but like honestly, I just love Persona 5, and I'm glad I got the Platinum Trophy. I really had to fight for that Platinum Trophy. Like, especially with it being a 150+ hour game.
I would say probably, like, looking at my entire list here, the hardest game to platinum was definitely Bloodborne, just because it is a hard game. None of my trophies are really, like, incredibly difficult. Like, yeah, Odyssey and Bloodborne are probably the hardest ones, just because Odyssey is a giant fucking game. Like, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is one of my platinum trophies. Did it on the PS4, and it took so long because not because like the trophy list itself is incredibly difficult. It was just that game is so fucking big.
I think that was me with Persona 5, in all honesty. Like, then you have like those really easy to get platinum trophies that you can get in like 3 hours. Like you and I both have the trophy for, or you and I both have the platinum trophy for Astro's Playroom on the PS5.
Like that's a 2-hour collectathon platformer that anyone can get the platinum on as long as they know how to hit the jump button.
Exactly. And it's really fun, and they did not have to give that game out for free, and I'm so fucking glad they did, because it's just so fun. I love that game so much.
I think for me, because he brought up Assassin's Creed, that's actually 3 of my 100%, which was 2, and the other 2 bonus games to do.
Oh, 2 Brotherhood and Revelations?
Yeah, like the Ezio collection just...
I still haven't played Brotherhood or Revelations.
You should.
You don't need to.
I platinum too.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Always.
The reason why I think you don't need to is because, like, Revelations, I probably talked about this before, but I don't think I've ever talked about this with Sunslinger. All of the Assassin's Creed games, except for, like, 2 that I've played, because I haven't played all of them yet, have terrible fucking endings. The only games I'm like, I like this ending was Revelations, because they tried really, 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 really hard to make... Okay, Ezio and Altair's stories are over. It's done. Altair's dead, obviously, and we saw the events of his life after the events of the first game.
When he's old.
He's old. And then Ezio, he's old. He's done. He's going to have a life now because he's realized all my life I haven't lived for myself. This has all been necessary for someone else, but now it's done. I remember a name told to me once. Desmond. Everything I've done for you. But now I do this for myself. That's a great ending. I like that ending. I kind of like Assassin's Creed Odyssey's ending. Well, the ending to the actual game. The post-game and the expansion, shit like that. But how it ends, it's like, you choose whether or not you kill the final member of the Cult of Cosmos. That's interesting, in my opinion.
And then they kill Desmond like he's some
Yes!
garbage.
What the fuck? They were setting up. It was like, Revelations. Desmond, it's your turn now. Assassin's Creed 3. Who the fuck is this Connor asshole? And Connor basically doesn't do nothing that happens to Connor. Fucking matters to Desmond. Oh, we need the key. Okay, here's the key. All right, what do we do with the key? You die. And then your fucking Black Flag, which, okay, kind of Black Flag is like technically, you play as a Kenway because Connor is a Kenway, so like there's kind of a connection, but it has nothing to do with fucking Desmond.
But you're still an assassin pirate.
Like technically 3 Liberation.
Well, technically, even
4, there's a connection between the games themselves because the characters you play as are all connected to each other. But nothing to fucking do with
You're
Desmond.
an assassin pirate, but your fucking son becomes a fucking Templar.
Yeah. And then your grandson becomes
another assassin.
It's like the fucking Rivera family from LT Gray. It's like hero villain.
But then you get to like which, don't get me wrong, what I've seen of the new Assassin's Creed, which I wouldn't even consider them Assassin's Creed, because you're not an assassin anymore. You're pretty much just a mercenary.
But the thing is, I like Origins. I liked the soft reboot where it explains the origin of the Assassin's Order.
Because you are playing an assassin in that game.
And then Odyssey, I like it because they basically explain the origin of the Templar Order. And yeah, you're not playing as an assassin because there are no Templars to rebel against yet. And then you have Valhalla, and that's where things kind of get weird because
you're not playing an assassin
because you have the Templar Order, you have the Assassin Order, you interact with the Assassin's Order, but Eivor isn't an assassin and in fact rejects a lot of the assassin's teachings. Like, oh, this is a hidden weapon. It's stealth. You choose it. Like, no, I have no use for stealth. I'll put it on my wrist and fucking punch people with a blade.
Because Vikings.
Because Vikings.
I kind of think Valhalla's gameplay is fun, but like,
I can dual wield
do you remember,
two-handed axes.
Do you remember Juno and the sun exploding? Do you guys remember that important detail that they ignored for like 5 games? And then suddenly brought it back and I hope you fucking played Odyssey's DLCs, because if you played Odyssey and then played Valhalla, you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, I have no idea what the fuck is going on in the real world, because I played Valhalla first.
Which is funny. That's actually another thing that Kodig told me, and we might have talked about it in a previous podcast. Kodig played 1, and then Assassin's Creed 2, and played Assassin's Creed 3 and had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Brotherhood of Revelations.
There's so
I
much
didn't
that
know
you
Brotherhood
didn't
of
know.
Revelations was a thing at the time.
Because it's Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 2 and a bit more,
Yeah.
3.
3. Yeah. It's like
And then I just
2,
stopped
2 plus,
playing.
2 plus plus.
I played a little bit of 4, and then I just stopped playing Assassin's Creed. And then Origins came out, and I didn't play it. And then Odyssey came out, and I didn't play it. But then Valhalla came out, and I was like, yeah, Vikings. That's what I'm talking about. So I played that.
Yeah.
So I started with Valhalla out of the trilogy.
Yeah. I've been trying to replay, because I started with.
Wow, I didn't realize that the whole starting with a third game really, it's just that.
Really, the third game ruins the rest of them?
Started with Origins, and I played Odyssey, and I have been recently going back through. So I've beaten 1, I've beaten 2, Brotherhood Revelations, I've beaten 3. I'm on Liberation. I just haven't gotten back to it, because Liberation is an interesting mechanic where it's like you have different costumes, which affects your ability, but it makes sense why your costumes affect your ability. Like, have you tried fucking running and jumping and climbing and stabbing people when you're in a fucking corset and long-ass dress? You can't do it. Because she has 3 outfits. She has her lady outfit, her assassin's outfit, and her slave outfit. And if you're in your assassin's outfit, it gives you the most combat potential, but guards are alerted to you immediately.
Yeah,
which makes sense. It's like, oh my god, it's an assassin, that one bitch. Let's get her. And if you're a slave, you have some combat ability. And if you're doing certain things like carrying a box around or whatever, people just fucking ignore you because it's like, oh, it's a slave walking around and carrying a thing. They're doing something, whatever. I don't fucking care. And if you're a lady, no one notices you doing anything, but you have no combat ability and you can't even jump or climb. So you have to pick and choose between your 3 outfits, which is interesting, but it's not necessarily the most fun. That's the thing. There's a balance, in my opinion, from interesting gameplay mechanics to fun gameplay mechanics. Like this has nothing to do, like, none of us have platinumed GTA 5, but we played GTA Online together as a household yesterday before us recording this, and there are neat attentions to detail, like my T20. As you accelerate, the spoiler comes up to give you traction like a real sports car does. It doesn't need to do that. It's just an interesting little detail.
Yeah. I think the only one that I'm missing off my list is Lego Marvel Superheroes that I platinumed on the PS4.
Are those collectathons where it's like most of the trophies aren't too difficult. It's a time investment.
Yeah. Now I am actually 1 trophy away from platinuming it again on the PS3. So I'm gonna platinum it again on the PS3.
What's with you and me and platinuming games on the PS4 before the PS3 version?
Well, I shit you not. When I was a kid, right, I was like, Lego Marvel Superheroes, it's gonna be my first platinum, and I did. I got it to 2 trophies away. It was turn into Hulk 50 times, which I just recently got a couple of days ago on the PS3. It just glitched out on my old PS3, and then beat the game at 100%. Now, my only issue was I didn't do it on the PS3 on my old PS3, but my old PS3 crapped out on me. And all the save files are on my old PS3, which means I have to redo all the progress I made on the new PS3 just to get the 100%.
You and I trying to platinum Skyrim on the PS3 is going to be fucking difficult, though, because
the PS3 likes to shit out at like level 40.
It's because of how the save file works basically, on the PlayStation 3 version. The more you do, the crappier the game gets because it's competing for.
Yeah, I
its
shit
own
you not. On my old
resources.
PS3, I could not get past level 35 before the game would just crash every time you started it.
What is, I will say though, it's nice about the fact of like with Skyrim is the fact of they don't expect you and don't require you to get every single trophy on one save file.
Yeah.
You can use different saves to get the trophies across all the things. So it's not like you have to get every single trophy on one save. Do it.
Do it.
But it's also not you need 3 different saves to platinum the game. It's,
Yeah.
You do it one or multiple. It's your choice. Other games don't let you do that.
Yeah.
We're nearing the end of the podcast, but there's still a game that I have platinum that we have not talked about yet. I'm sure there are several we haven't talked about with Sunslinger.
Yeah, a couple.
So we're going to give him a moment after I finish mine. It's a PlayStation 5, one of the 3 PlayStation 5 trophies I have. Maneater. It was free with a PlayStation Trust subscription. Literally, it's you play as a shark, and it's a semi-open world game where you eat things and get bigger and become a mega shark. And then it's a fun game. It's very self-aware. It's like, this game is meant to be like a comedy and a fun game. And it is. My gripes with the game, though, is because you're underwater, you're in a 360 combat environment when you're fighting against other sea creatures. There's no fucking lock-on. So it's so easy to get lost and turn around like, wait, where the fuck, which direction is up, which one's it's so annoying. Like, you can recenter the camera to focus on your target, but it can't lock on to your target. That's so annoying. Most of the trophies are just collectibles. Like, you just go, each of the section has its own set of collectibles, like license plates and signs and like special events or whatever, and you just complete those. And then there are store progression requirements, like beat certain bosses, get to certain stages, because you have like pup and then teen and then like adult and I think elder and then mega or something like that. So it's not overly difficult. I know Kodig talked about platinuming it because obviously it's on the PS5 and it was free with PlayStation Plus. And it's anyone who hasn't played it, I recommend that you do because it's a pretty fun game. It's nothing special. It made me laugh on multiple occasions and I cared enough to platinum it. So that tells you enough about that. Sunslinger.
So, the 2 of the other ones that I did kind of go in line. It's I talked about Halo. I did Halo 2 and Halo 3 because Halo 4 and 5 are just garbage.
Halo 4 is the only game I played and beaten because it was in co-op mode.
But like those were just along the lines of like the story was great. You're trying to do something. You're still in line with everything else, and then it just goes off into Fairyland, and you're fighting
Fairyland?
like random things that had never existed in any other thing. But my other set, my last set that I have is the Red Faction, which still to me is it like my top games hands down. Like especially original Red Faction, where you had the ability to have like the first open world like completely destroy anything in the world that you wanted to. And there's just something satisfying running around with a giant hammer and just demolishing everything.
Let me just fire some rainbows at this unicorn's ass right quick.
The unicorn gun on 3, when you fucking squeeze it, it shits out fucking rainbows, explodes everything in the vicinity, and you're just
But does it have a dubstep gun? That's a weapon in Saints Row 4. That's this way.
Does it have a dildo bat?
No.
Does it have a teddy bear grenade launcher? That one's actually Sunset Overdrive.
I was say, what about the Lego head you can put on zombies' heads?
Well, that's interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. I think before we end, there is 2 games that I want to bring up that I haven't platinumed yet, but I do fully intend on platinuming, and I'm pretty close to platinuming. And the first one of those is going to be Life is Strange Before the Storm. Now, as I've stated previously, I've already platinumed Life is Strange 1 and Life is Strange 2.
We were so close to ending the podcast and getting him to stop talking about it. We were so close.
Life is Strange 2. Before the Storm, I'm at 88%. I just need to finish getting all the collectibles in the last episode. And other than that, when it comes to Life is Strange, I just love those games. Great games, series. Everyone should play.
No.
Save us.
Great series. And then the last one is Rainbow Six Siege, which is an online multiplayer game.
That's a feat. Anyone who's able to platinum a game like that, you are either well done, sir, or get a fucking life. Jesus Christ.
I'm going with get a life on that.
I am 3 trophies away from platinuming it. I need to kill 10 enemies with stun grenades. No, not kill them with stun. Kill them while
with stun grenades.
Kill them while they are stunned, because I
mean,
just don't use fucking stun grenades.
A really fun thing to do in Call of Duty Modern Warfare is to get somebody down on the ground and hit them in the head with a stun grenade, and it'll kill them.
I just need to kill 5 enemies that are stunned.
He's resisting.
I need to defuse the diffuser 5 times, because I just never get fucking bomb matches for some reason. And no one plants the fucking diffuser ever, so you gotta rely on the enemy team to plant the diffuser.
Oh, man.
And then the last one is get 5 flawless victories in ranked, which I have 4. I just haven't played ranked since. So I just need to do that, and after that I'll get the platinum trophy for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to platinuming Saints Row 3 and 4. I'm pretty close. It's just, it comes down to, like, there are certain mini games and other requirements that I gotta do. Because you have to get all the achievements. Because, like, you know how, like, Xbox, you have achievements? In Saints Row, it's one of those things that has internal achievements. And there are trophies for completing the achievement list.
I really don't even want to go into the amount of games that I have that are between, like, 90 and 97% on my Xbox that I have absolutely no intention of finishing.
Fuck these games.
Oh yeah, when you have to get like I was talking about with the Seriously on Gears 5 to get the Seriously 5.0, it's like 500 million points on like versus mode. So you're talking like 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for a year. And you're gonna get close to that number, but you're not gonna get that number.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
I'm sorry. I love Gears, and Gears is my favorite series ever, hands down. There is absolutely no fucking way I will ever get that.
Leaving on that note,
of course, there's always Steam, and they have their own achievements, but none of us are really
no one cares.
PC gamers. So
until next time, make sure to leave a comment to see what you want us to talk about next, because we do want to know what you want us to talk about. We'll take a look at it. Until next time.
An entire podcast about quantum physics.
I've been Kodig.
I've been Aaron.
I'm Sun.
Bye.
Bye.
I got to you.